time's it?
It's 59. If we're a minute late, it's not a huge deal. And usually we just start these when we want. We recorded one in the hot tub, for God's sakes.
What was the run in the hot tub?
Not only one. Yeah, but you know one.
You want some chicken nuggets?
No. Oh my god.
Bro, give me the nuggets. Give me the nuggets.
There's only
Three?
like
Two! Bro.
No, 2 1/4.
Alright.
There's a dog outside?
Yeah, it's dogs outside.
Just to avoid, like...
What are you doing? To avoid him barking like a fucking maniac and just swearing aloud?
Yeah,
swearing's
loud.
Okay.
Hurry up. Lift it.
God damn it.
Hey, use your muscles.
Shut up, Swooly.
How's your thumb, Gibby?
Huh?
How's your thumb?
Cut.
Same.
What'd you do?
Aluminum at work today. I was trying to deburr it, but I had to like grab onto it on the hardest,
Is he
like,
muted or not?
sharpest spot. No, he's not. He can curse.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, that should be in frame of the GoPro, right? Should be. Good enough.
Alright. Alright.
Gotta make sure you look good.
Let's hurry up.
You ready?
We're about to start.
Why are you wearing Golden State shit?
We're all wearing sports stuff. Yeah.
Honestly. No, you can't see me, but that's okay.
That's.
You wearing Falcon shit?
He's wearing his high school stuff.
I was gonna say.
All right, you ready over there?
Oh yeah.
All right.
3,
Let's do it.
2, 1. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sports Commute. Reminder that our podcast is on Apple and Spotify, and now we are on YouTube. Anyways, thank you for everyone that has joined and tuned in. Here are our special guests, Ryan and Joe, and our very special guest, Chiseled Adonis.
Alright, thank you for having me on the show.
God damn it. Whatever, just...
We'll do it live.
Alright, now you're up. You can take your...
I'm going to start us off with NASCAR here. I know most of you guys don't watch, but it's kind of how we started, so might as well. We had a scary situation at Spring Speedway earlier Thursday morning. Kyle Larson was involved in a scary wreck off turn 4. Couple end over ends, was almost crushed underneath the roll cage. Luckily enough, safety crews were able to attend to the car very quick, and the roll cage held strong. It was well held together. So he tweeted out that he was okay, and he's ready to get back in the car and start racing.
Cool. Very good. Very well.
You want to go first?
What else? You got anything else?
Nothing but NFL. Move on to the
Do you have any topics? You got any? Anything to say?
I guess we can start with AB.
Alright.
Going to New Orleans.
I was just gonna say something
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
I think we
My
all are.
my dad talked about it earlier too.
Yeah.
And that
Just
receiver course can be
thoughts
nasty.
on especially possibly going and working out for New Orleans. Sean Payton saying that he doesn't think that he's going to end up signing for AB, but he got to work out after everything that he did on Twitter. So what's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I think he left the NFL in probably the worst way possible. A record-setting 9 lawsuits, grievances against multiple teams and the NFL in itself, and honestly, the tweets that he sent out about it and making fake accounts to tweet and promote himself, it was just not the best way to help himself out in the situation. Right?
Honestly, he's just a diva. Probably one of the biggest divas I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, I agree.
I think overall he's just gonna make a team worse, and I don't think Sean Payton's gonna want that.
I don't think, Sean Payton would want that.
Not Sean Payton.
He's a damn good player, but he wasted his career doing what the hell he did.
I mean, but if you look at it, I mean, I don't know how much it could help the Saints, but if you look at their receiving core after that, if he signed there,
But
Michael Thomas, AB, and you're gonna have what's his name running the slot? No, what is his name?
Oh, the backup?
He's I think he's like number 10.
Taysom Hill.
No, not Hill.
Taysom
No. I don't know why I can't remember his name.
Some guy.
Yeah.
He scored the game-tying touchdown against the Niners.
Is it Harris?
It might be.
It might be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Michigan State beat Wake Forest.
I guess we'll turn over to the Titans now. Just start over there. A lot of backlash after this week in football. After excuse me. Saints cornerback Khalif Raymond. It was what quote dirty shot on Titans wide receiver C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Led to a fumble and a Saints recovery brought down inside Titans territory. I mean, there was a lot of backlash about it, saying there should have been a flag, shouldn't have been a flag. Personally, within the NFL rulebook right now, the way I see it, I replayed the video. Khalif Raymond used his shoulder pad. There was nothing he could really do to avoid making contact with the head, and Gardner Johnson wasn't a defenseless receiver. He'd made his football move, so to speak. It's a clean play.
I didn't see the hit, so.
I really also don't
Unless
see
you talk to a
that.
Titans fan.
Unless you talk to TJ.
Yeah.
All over that.
A certain Titans fan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Matt?
What do you want me to do, or do you want to keep going? Do you have one more story in the NFL?
Jameis Winston going on his final of the year in contract.
$30 million a year?
Shit.
I mean,
It's not getting that.
No. Not at all.
Unless he wants $1 million for every interception he throws, I don't think he's that kind of money. It's not going to happen. Jameis is a very confusing quarterback. It's kind of hard to figure out what this guy wants to be. He'll make you happy and sad in the exact same game. 5 touchdowns, throw 4 interceptions, 400 yards, but also give you 200 interception yards going the other way. I never play Madden with Jameis Winston.
He reminds me of
not Brett Favre. Don't say Brett Favre.
I was gonna say Brett Favre.
Okay, thank
That bad? What the
Eli
fuck?
Manning back around 2014 when he was just throwing like 3 picks a game.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just kind of what reminds me of Jameis Winston every time I watch the Bucs play.
Well,
Go ahead.
Carolina's quarterback situation.
Oh.
Will Greer started this week, but he threw 3 picks and only 200 yards.
Of course,
yeah, that's what he
of course
is.
the West Virginia fan brings up Will Greer.
Yeah, but you got a struggling, what's his name? Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen,
You have a quarterback that you drafted this year who's throwing 3 picks in his first game. I mean, it is his first game.
It is his first game, but come on.
I mean,
You're throwing him under the fire.
I mean, as well, like DJ Moore got hurt during that game, and I'm pretty sure he didn't return. I don't know.
I don't think
got
he
hurt
returned.
early. But I mean, you got Cam Newton, who's been hurt all year, quote unquote. Kyle Allen, who's just a turnover machine at this point.
Yeah, and speaking of Cam Newton, that does bring up another point there.
Very
What's
good point.
what's going to be his situation next year with these just start? The Panthers are just kind of throwing gas on a fire with all the quarterbacks they're just signing.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
mean, what do you guys think Cam's
It's a
situation
very
could be?
confusing situation for Carolina because they seemed as if they were sold on Kyle Allen after the 4-game winning streak, and he didn't really do too much to get gifted the keys. It was more on the shoulder pads of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And here you are, him turning the football over all day, then bringing in Greer in a terrible situation, as you guys stated. Moore got hurt, didn't come back. Greg Olsen has the messed up foot for like the 3rd consecutive year.
Yeah.
He's throwing to nobody but Colts defenders, so you can't expect him to play very good. And Cam, it seemed as if they were going to trade him, and now they might be bringing him back after saying they were open to exploring options. They don't know what they want to do at quarterback.
Right.
All of us can probably apply to play as quarterback in the preseason for next season.
Get that guy, what's his name, that Eagles fan, eat that pussy 445.
I'll play for free.
I'll play for free.
You think Newton's gonna want to come back after what the Panthers tried to do?
I don't know.
Definitely
I mean,
not.
that's kind of been his whole career, though.
Especially with them not having they're firing what's his name in the middle of the
Ron
season?
Rivera.
Ron
Yeah,
Rivera.
Rivera.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he was gonna want to come back.
No, but where would he go?
Where would he go? There's
Chargers?
Bengals.
Uh,
Bengals could.
Well,
pass
Bengals-
on.
Yeah, Andy Dalton, like, dude, I got a notification on Twitter, on the podcast Twitter, of Andy Dalton holding a press conference, and my first thought was, oh, he's retiring.
no.
Wait, he is?
No, no.
he's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
He went to this press conference to basically say any any replacement quarterback that could be drafted this year, I'm not concerned about them. I still think that I can play to the best of my ability and get the Bengals back to a playoff caliber team.
I don't believe it.
No.
I can't believe that.
You need something else in
I
their
want to
receiving core.
believe. I want to believe as a Bills fan.
Yeah, like it's a good confidence to have in your quarterback, but you have to be able to back it up with the play. And right now, that's not being shown by anyone on the Bengals team.
Absolutely
Well,
not.
one you got.
AJ Green might be leaving next year as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're talking about possibly Philly, New England, just anywhere outside of Cincinnati. And if he's going to go and explore, there's a high probability he's not coming back unless you give him your entire bank account. So it's not going to happen. And for Andy Dalton to try to, say, all right, I think I can beat other people out and want to stay in Cincinnati, that's asinine. Or try to go to Chicago or something like that.
Right.
Get the hell out of it.
Damn, yeah.
With
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah,
The-
Mr. Bitch Trubisky.
The way I
Yeah.
see it, as soon as the Bengals started 0-6, that was at the point where I was thinking Andy Dalton's going to be done. I knew AJ Green was already going to definitely leave. I don't think he's ever
He's not
coming
gonna
back.
stay.
But I think Andy Dalton should have seen this was a sinking ship with no way of saving it and requested a trade.
True.
And they benched him, too.
They did
Yeah,
bench
They
him.
benched
3
him.
weeks.
So the minute that they benched him, I figured, all right, yeah, he's going to get out of here. Now he has all this pride
Yeah.
after nearly having a 28-point comeback. Now he still wants to be in Cincinnati. Something's wrong with him. Who would want to be in Cincinnati? The Bengals don't want to be in Cincinnati. And then the damn team name. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yo.
It is pretty ridiculous, but I mean, we got to let him make his own decision. If he wants to go out and if he wants to go out and blaze, then
I don't even know what the Bengals are playing.
well, yeah, that's why you switched to the Bills. Yeah, Matt here was a Bengals fan until you guys went 1-11,
Yeah.
and then he switched over to the Bills.
Oh, wow, this year.
Yeah, like
Oh,
like
wow, okay,
like 2 weeks
all right.
ago.
So it's a shift of the bandwagon in a calendar year. I've never encountered that before.
First time for everyone.
I mean, he is a Golden State fan too.
Hey,
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. There were no Golden State fans before 2014.
Yeah.
They were out there only in Golden State.
Yeah. Right.
Just like Seattle, man, they weren't
Yeah,
around
they-
until about 2011.
And,
Yeah.
and the Panthers only in 2015.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah,
never
Panthers.
went all of those teams. They were never really nationwide
Yeah.
until
Until-
the success started rolling in. There's a few number of organizations that are nationwide just by default.
Right.
Yeah. Not too many at all.
Patriots.
Patriots.
Green
James.
Bay.
Tom the Goat.
Uh, actually, yeah. Just bringing up Tom Brady here. Let's focus on some of your content here. We'll take a little break from actual stats and important stuff that we barely researched. So you're a YouTuber. You do sports commentary. I don't know. I know you didn't completely you focused on the NFL a few years back, and then you started gradually increasing into different sports. Correct?
Well, I was just doing all the sports, and then I kind of went towards the NFL because I just know the most about the NFL of all the other sports.
Right.
Yeah. Just looking on your channel the other day, you did you did the Christmas Day recap, highlights, all that stuff. Live? Was that a live stream, or just did you record yourself for 3 hours?
Oh, it was a live stream.
Yeah,
it was
that's what I
kind of
thought.
weird just recording myself and upload it afterwards. Like, people just looking at me talk, like, what game is he talking about? I was actually talking about the Nuggets and the Pelicans while having the latest score up there. But yeah, it was a live stream.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. But so Ryan brought up Tom Brady. Your NFL commentary. Tom Brady shows up. Every time he throws the ball, you give him a little squeal.
Love it.
It's funny how that came about because initially it wasn't even supposed to happen. But I was in the midst of recording and then I sneezed. Sneezes that happen where you don't sound like your gender. So it was very obvious. This sounds funny. I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
So I left it in there. The people loved it until this day. Every time Brady throws it.
There's a lot of stuff that like
He might not be on the Peters next year.
Shut up.
I mean,
He's gonna get a 1-year extension.
He's getting his 1-year extension. He's waiting until it's a sinking ship and getting out of there quick.
Oh, Brady leaving New England?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it depends on. I'd say it all depends on the conclusion of this season.
Right.
If
Yeah.
they go in the playoffs and they have a terrible outing, I think Belichick will make the move and get rid of him. Because Belichick was trying to get rid of Brady since the Super Bowl when they beat Seattle.
Yeah.
In that middle of the year, he was ready to go to Garoppolo.
Right.
Belichick's the guy who wants to get rid of you a year early. He wanted to get rid of Gronk the same year he was first team All-Pro when they lost to Philly.
Right.
So he wanted to get rid of guys ahead of time. So I think, as you said, it's going to be a 1-year extension sort of situation moving forward. But as soon as Belichick finds that guy, he's getting Tom the hell up out of there.
Yep.
Wow. I mean, they got the draft picks to,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
to basically
do
take
you think
whoever they want.
You think they take like an
Tua.
early first rounder, or do they take a late pick?
What do they have? A fifth pick this year? They traded up for a fifth.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they traded up. They got an early pick.
For real?
No,
Yeah, they traded up.
Yeah,
Who they trade with?
I have no idea. But
To get N'Keal Harry, I believe it was.
yeah, but I think this year they have an early one too. I could be wrong though. But you know, I don't know if two is such a safe pick. We know Burrow's gonna go
Burrow's gonna
probably
go.
to the
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals immediately.
Yeah.
It
What
looks
about
like the
Tua?
Dolphins are doing their thing with Fitzpatrick again, so they're not gonna draft a quarterback.
Tua?
No,
That's why I said Tua.
I got something to say with that. Tua, I just don't think he's a safe pick anymore.
Yeah.
Especially with that injury, because people have been talking about that being the Bo Jackson injury, where he's just not going to be able to play.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean,
He's worth the
you
risk.
look back at his college, I mean, it's college, he's at Alabama, he's tearing everything up,
It's Alabama.
and then he gets hurt this year, 2 times, actually, right?
Yeah,
And then
he-
ankle
he had a-
surgery,
he had
and then
an
he
orig-
came back, and then he just hurt his hip again.
No, he hurt his ankle again.
I thought
Got
it
a
was
caught
hip.
underneath himself and re-injured it.
I thought it was his hip. Didn't he have a hip injury?
What's
He
that
might
say?
have. I have no
I'm
idea.
pretty sure he had a hip
Yeah.
injury.
Man, I don't know.
And then, I mean, like, I just don't know if he's a safe pick anymore at this point.
I agree. I don't think Tua is a very safe pick at all, especially playing in New England, where the only reason why Tom Brady stays quote-unquote protected is because he knows how to shift that offensive line. You can't just bring in Tua now, where we've seen a revolving door of offensive linemen for New England already. He's going to be running for his life. It's not going to be a good situation, no matter where he goes. And that's a brutal injury that he's going to be having to, rehab from to go straight into the league. I heard he was considering possibly staying at Alabama an additional year, which I think he should do,
Right.
although you would be getting paid if you do go to the league, so it's what do you want to do there. But I don't think it's a safe pick at all. I'm not too I highly doubt Belichick will grab a quarterback in the first round. I don't think he'll do a free agency route, because who would you get? Maybe they'll put up a ton of money and picks to probably try to grab a Teddy Bridgewater. But who knows?
Yeah.
I have no clue what they're going to do at the quarterback position.
Yeah, right now, if I'm Tua,
Stay another year.
I'm gonna stay another year, because right now, as soon as you re-injured that ankle, football's not looking so good anymore. Focus on a career, because that is actually what college is for. And if you still are wanting to commit to football, keep working out in the off season, working with Nick Saban on just not official practices, I guess, because I think this is his senior year this year. Junior.
This might be his because he was a redshirt freshman when he won the national title, and then it's been 2 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
so he's
yeah,
a junior this year, so he'll be
Wow.
a senior.
He's a junior.
Junior year.
Yeah.
So
So
he's going into his junior year. Because they said he couldn't come out the year after the championship because it was his freshman. So yeah, I guess this is his junior year.
yeah, I guess I'd stay there for the next year. Keep working on your ability, getting that ankle healed up.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the best way to make sure that he doesn't mess around and have a career-ending injury before he can even start his career.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard. I had another college thing I could bring up. Chuba Hubbard, or Chuba some Hubbard, right? What is his name? Chuba Hubbard, the running back for Oklahoma State. this year has 309 attempts for 1,936 yards and 21 touchdowns, and he's averaging 6.3 yards per carry.
It's not bad at all.
That ain't.
He is also, I'm pretty sure he's like he's either a freshman or he's a sophomore.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps it up like that, and he's got good guys up
Actually
front.
They're playing A&M right now in their bowl game. They're up 7-0. But he's third in attempts. He's first in yards for his conference. Tied for third in touchdowns. I mean, like you have that many yards in a college season. You're playing what, 10 games, maybe at most, 11, 12, something like that.
I think it's full season's.
I think I think he's averaging like 176 yards per game, something like that.
That's like
It's pretty ridiculous.
that's some
I mean, it's also
almost NFL numbers.
yeah, and I think he flew way under the radar for Heisman,
Oh,
in my
yeah.
opinion, because
100%.
with those stats,
But he also was against Joe Burrow, Chase Young, and I don't know, 2 other guys.
I mean, you look at Burrow. Burrow had an insane year.
yeah, damn.
And then you're looking at a running back doing that at Oklahoma State.
Come on, that's true.
Well, Oklahoma State seems to be the overlooked of the two there.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's. I mean, the Heisman isn't everything.
No.
You know, a lot of times the Heisman usually ends up being a bust.
Johnny
I've
Manziel.
from what I've
Yeah.
seen.
Johnny Manziel.
Heisman doesn't mean everything.
RG3.
RG3.
Kyler Murray.
Well, RG3 was more attributed to that to the injury.
To the ACL
Yeah.
injury.
He
Yeah.
did for that rookie of the year, and then bam, his leg was gone. Now, Johnny Manziel, that was a completely different story.
That was just he got drafted to the Browns at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. It all depends on where you go, because we saw what was his name? Monty Ball back in I think it was 2014 or something like that.
Yeah.
And this guy had 40 touchdowns in a season. He broke Barry Sanders' record,
Mhm.
and he got to Denver and did nothing. So it all depends on where you go, because you're fit, and the team that you go to, that's pretty much as good as you can be. There's some people who could go somewhere and they'll take some time. Like Josh Rosen was done no favors.
Yeah.
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 You go to Arizona, and that team is the worst in the NFL. And then they move you to Miami, which at the time was the worst in the NFL. He had no real chance to get off the ground. And Kyler Murray, he actually had a little bit of a benefit because guys were more healthy this season. And he was able to, assimilate into their system. So, for Hubbard, he has great numbers. He's a great runner, but it all comes down to where he gets picked. Who's to say if he even goes in the first round? We've seen running backs get completely shafted over the past year.
Yeah.
So who knows where he'll get
Absolutely.
drafted? But he's got to go to a team that has a solid offensive line.
Yeah. Well, like you said, Joe, he's a sophomore.
So we got
so,
a few years.
so
I mean,
he's either-
he's got years to build that up.
Who knows? I
Who
don't know.
knows what happens.
I mean, like honestly, he could answer the draft this year, right?
No.
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 Junior.
Sophomore.
Junior.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can.
He's
No,
just
he can't.
Yeah,
Oh, you can?
yeah.
You only got to play 2 years. It's no longer playing 3. You only got to play 2 years.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could if you wanted to.
Well, if we're talking about college, I'll move on to my next story here. It's a little interesting story out of Division II football, actually. Division II doesn't get a lot of national spotlight, but the D2 national championship game played between West Florida and Minnesota State ended up being West Florida over Minnesota State 48-40 in a record-shattering showdown. There goes the cap to my pen. Freshman quarterback Austin Reed for West Florida, he set a new pass yard record with 399 yards in a single game, which was bypassing the original national championship record of 361 set back in 2002. Also, what? I don't like that Mountain Dew.
Go.
Also, Tate Lahito, if I'm not pronouncing that right, I mean, he's not looking, he's going to watch anyways, so. He also set a record for receptions in a single game with 13, which, I mean, it doesn't seem like that much, but it's still a good,
It's D2 football.
it's still a good amount of catches. And then following that up, teammate Quentin Randolph for West Florida as well came out with an impressive 10 receptions for 254 yards. That was just 16 yards shy of the receiving record for D2. It's an impressive feat for all of that on just one team, especially for a high-scoring game, 48-40. And I think D2 should get a little bit more attention just because of
These little games.
it's not about
Division
Notre Dame playing Pittsburgh and it's about these guys going out and having fun, but it's also, we hear about these scores and these interesting stories, but we'd like to, also see what happens because this is the college stuff that doesn't show up. D2 men's basketball and football, we don't see that a lot.
Right.
You said 10 catches for 252 yards?
254.
250. Good lord.
That's random
10
awesome.
catches.
It was 16 yards shy of the record.
Yeah, he had my whole college career in one game. Good lord. 254 yards and 10 catches.
Yeah.
What's guarding him? Could you imagine a
Josh
conversation on
Norman.
the sideline?
To quote you, because I guess I'll plug your YouTube channel again. Defense unplugged their controller.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How do you leave from having, you just had lab, you're trying to become a doctor, you gotta go back home to the field to go cover this guy in class on Monday?
Yeah.
You might as well fail your final class. You couldn't guard the person in front of you, it's over.
Drop out
That's a
immediately.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Must have been Josh Norman. Go.
Well, here, how about we step into the NBA with
Why not?
Matt? He's got the
I got the
scores for
Christmas for I got the Christmas. So I got the Warriors had beat the Rockets 116-104, which was a very big upset, surprisingly. Damian Lee, the scoring leader of the Warriors, has 22 points, and Westbrook had 30, which I was very surprised about this game. I'm like, hell no way. The Warriors are gonna beat the Rockets. Like, what the hell?
The dynasty is over.
Right. And then I moved
with the
on.
Niners.
Yeah, they traded with the Niners a soul for a soul. The 76ers.
I saw that meme.
Yeah. Yeah. So the 76ers beat the Bucks 121-106. Embiid locked the hell out of Giannis. 31 points. He shut down Giannis for sure. Boston beat Toronto 118-102. Van Fleet had 27. Brown had 30. The Clippers beat the Lakers, which I heard was a good game. Kawhi had 35. Kuzma had 25. I don't know. Kuzma did well. The Pelicans beat the Nuggets with Ingram, 31, and Jokic with 23. And I also have the big thing about Luka getting the Jordan sponsor, which was pretty interesting to me. So.
It was a good day for basketball in the NBA, and it pretty much solidified what's happening with the Rockets, where Golden State's in their head. They cannot get Golden State out of their head. I said that the Rockets to Golden State are what the Raptors were to LeBron James-led teams in the East,
Right.
where you have a nemesis that you cannot beat. Golden State beat the Rockets in the playoffs 4 of the last 5 years, eliminating them every single time. So they're their nemesis. And for the Bucks and 76ers, it's interesting because although the 76ers did win, I don't think they can beat the Bucks in a 7-game series.
Absolutely not.
I don't know how often Embiid will have the great offensive performance against Giannis, who's now improving in shooting.
Yeah.
So he's going to start to take Embiid away from the paint, and nobody else can really guard that paint area, in my opinion, from all the other slashers that the Bucks have in the shooters. And it was a great game in LA too, with the Clippers and Lakers. It was a great game over there as well. But it was some good basketball.
It was a very big day.
I saw a story. Did LeBron get hurt during that game?
Yes, I was about to cover
I was
that.
gonna say he has a groin issue.
Yeah. Let's see. And I just said about Zion, about how he was supposed to come back from his torn meniscus thing that he had on October 21st, and he's not really doing much. So, yeah.
It appears that our mic has stopped working.
Oh well, we still got the audio.
One moment.
Ryan, you're dumb. The blue light's still on.
I don't know where the blue light is.
Come on.
Never mind. False alarm.
His eyes are just for decoration.
Yeah, blue light's still on. We're all good. I was
Sweet.
just
And
considering.
that's what I got from the NBA.
All right. Well, let's see. What other stories we got? Cause
I got something we can talk about.
go ahead, Joe.
CD Lamb. Where do you think he's gonna go?
CD Lamb. Okay. It's the first. The guy's a beast.
Yeah.
He's an absolute beast. He has comparisons to an AJ Green kind of player. He has a lot of. It's ridiculous amount of strength in a very slender body. He can run. He can catch.
He's their returner too.
First round is interesting. I guess his performance tomorrow can kind of sway that, but I think he's already solidified himself as a first round pick. Where to go? I don't think he's gonna drop far. Probably somebody in the middle of the pack. Maybe Oakland could mess around and grab him.
That's a good
Oakland,
one.
The gritting grinders.
Grinders.
Join those brooding grinders.
Yeah.
Could do. I mean, like,
I don't know.
Titans?
No, they just drafted
I
one.
mean,
Brown.
maybe.
AJ Brown.
All right.
Corey Davis doing well as well.
Not really.
Oh,
Average.
He's average.
AJ Brown's.
From injury. I think he was like a concussion protocol or something like that. I don't know what happened to him, but he's finally cleared this week. So, boy, where would
No, we don't.
Jets? Maybe.
That's.
Jets could be a
No,
possibility.
they don't got much.
I mean, they got Robbie Anderson.
They're
Like,
full.
Mitch Durant or something.
He's just like
No, he's not top caliber. I'm sorry.
Lions, maybe. Nah, I don't think the Lions would take him though, because they still got Marvin Jones and
Marvin Jones is
What's
pretty
his name?
nice. Not going.
And Galladay.
yeah, Colin.
I mean, if we're talking receivers, the name that comes to mind for me is Cowboys.
Cool.
They only have really
Cooper?
Amari Cooper. Oh, I forgot about
They
Cal.
could, yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think he's gonna drop that far because they're gonna be up higher up at least.
I mean,
I don't think I was drafting him.
It depends on if they make the playoffs or not.
I mean, if the Redskins can pull something off, because I'm pretty sure that's who the Phillies playing.
But they have what's his name?
Terry.
Right.
Scary Terry.
No, Phillies playing the Giants.
Phillies playing the Giants, yeah, and then the Redskins are playing the Cowboys.
Right.
I mean, if you look at it, there's still a chance for an 8-8 team to be in the playoffs.
Oh, we knew
There
that.
is a chance for an 8-8 team to be in the
There's a
playoffs.
solid
Either the
chance.
Giants,
The
either
Giants
the Philly or the
pull up an
Cowboys.
upset, and the Cowboys lose to the Redskins, which would just be hilarious.
And then Oakland. Oakland could also squeak in there.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, very slim possibilities.
The Steelers
It's
got to
not
lose
bad.
and the
They
Titans
need
got
like
to lose.
4 people to lose though.
Steelers, Titans, and the Colts.
3 teams, okay, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, but the
Yeah,
Colts
but-
aren't doing too well. Well, 7-8, not too.
They're 7-8, but they're chasing the second place.
You gotta remember, there's backups
And they have the
playing, too.
Chiefs this weekend.
Oh,
There might be backups playing. so-
Yeah, the Steelers have Houston, but it's my assumption that
They're gonna win.
Deshaun
He's gonna sit.
Watson isn't going to play that much.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, just have
So
to
the
see.
Steelers have a
Baltimore,
and,
right. I
Tennessee
meant
gets
Tennessee has
Tennessee.
Houston.
But both
Right.
of them, they're probably going to rest. Lamar's not playing. Mark Ingram's not playing. Marcus Peters is banged up. He might not play. It's just going to be the JV squad out there. So Pittsburgh's going to be looking in the mirror because both offenses are going to be practice squad teams.
They're really reaching for modified cornerbacks down there. 'Cause Marcus Peters is not that great.
No.
Marcus Peters is one of those guys where on paper you'll think he was killing all game.
Mhm.
Like you'll look at the stat line, you'll see a fumble recovery and a pick 6, and he also forced a fumble too. But you see the other quarterbacks threw for 500 yards, you'll be like, oh, it must have been killing the other quarterback. No. Marcus Peters was getting killed. He'll give him 400 yards, but he'll catch a couple of interceptions, and you'll think the guy's a beast. I think right now he has over 30 turnovers in his first 5 years, which is ridiculous. He's on pace for a ridiculous amount of, takeaways, but he cannot cover.
He
He's
doesn't
burnt
he doesn't
toast.
back it up with the good cut with any good coverage.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
He's one of those cornerbacks who take risks all day. When you played against was it the playoff? Yeah, it was the playoff game in the NFC Championship, or even before that, when they played the first time against Michael Thomas, he was killing it all day. It was somebody had to wave the white flag, somebody throw the towel. He was getting his ass whipped all day.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're on the topic of corners. I'm gonna bring something up, and it may be a little biased.
Oh.
Trey White and
Oh,
Stephon
come
Gilmore. Who do you think Gilmore is as good as he's been portrayed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Gilmore is the best corner in the league. I'd say Tre'Davious White probably. No, yeah, I'd probably put Tre'Davious White at number 2. Although he still is young, it's his third season.
Yeah,
I'd put him at number 2.
He's only
But,
he's only
Gilmore
27.
for sure is number 1. I know for Buffalo fans it sucks because he used to be in Buffalo, but you know.
Everyone
Yeah,
just
I
terrible.
Yo, Legion of Boom Part 2. If we had Trey White too. I
Bro,
mean,
part
more
2,
than-
you
What are you
that's in
talking
Seattle.
Ah.
And none of them are hard hitters.
I mean, come
You mean
on.
what?
You mean?
You mean what?
This is why we call you cringe guy.
I'm just saying, the secondary is nasty. It would be
Their
nasty.
secondary, yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Their defense has just been something else this year, and that's why it's almost the main reason why we're in the playoffs.
Yeah, it actually is.
Absolutely.
the reason.
Josh Allen's played a lot better in the
Mhm.
second. Well,
He's,
you can even say
he's got to
second
get
half
his
of the season.
accuracy under control. It's like you said. You brought up the whole it's that one team that really gets you off your game, and I think for Josh Allen, just seeing the Patriots show up, he starts to get a little more nervous and starts to make those really tight
Dumb
throws
mistakes.
and the dumb mistakes.
Right.
Worse than he did at the beginning of the year. So
What? He's only had like 3. Has he had like 3 picks since like the first 3 games? He had, like,
since
5 in like the first.
since the
two?
first 4 games, he's had, I believe
2.
it's only 2.
Yeah.
And one of
Wow.
them wasn't really even his fault.
No, one of them was it bounced off the dude's
It went
hands.
right. Well, it went right through Beasley's
Beasley's hands, yeah.
Yeah.
Against the Steelers, yeah.
His hands for decoration.
Still does. You know what? I was gonna scrap it, but it looks like we're all kind of struggling for ideas. So,
Alright, what you got?
right. I was scrolling through Twitter,
Oh, Jesus.
and I had seen a post that you liked, and that got sent to me just because I don't follow that many people. And it was a tweet from O.J. Simpson. He just won his fantasy league or whatever. He's got the belt, and he's celebrating and everything, and that's fine, whatever. Now, I'm not here to debate whether or not he killed those two. That's whatever. It just seems to me like this was, 20 to almost 30 years ago? Maybe 30 years and... It's about 25 years ago. The jokes are just the same ones over and over again. I scrolled through the comments, and all the comments were, "You really cut up the competition. Is it nickel or Goldman plated?" Like,
Jesus.
It's always the same. People aren't really creative. They don't come up with new, kind of jokes. It's bothersome whenever I look in the comments because you think, Twitter usually has some of the best jokes, but everybody recycles the same stuff.
Yeah.
And I enjoy following OJ. I find it hilarious that he just comes on there and does not even acknowledge what else is going on or the comments or anything. He starts out every video the same way. He has this odd laugh, hairline receding as every video goes. But it's disappointing. You don't see the right kind of jokes. Nobody's ever really creative with it. Utilize the fact that he drove a Bronco or something like that. It doesn't always have to be the knife and he's killing or stabbing or things of that. It's low hanging fruit.
there was one Bronco joke, but it was very, it wasn't well executed
Ah.
at all.
Very much.
You remember it?
Didn't he make
I
the
didn't.
top 100 team?
I thought, no.
He did that?
He
Yeah.
did make
He did?
the top 100.
I was gonna say,
Yep.
They did.
there's been a lot of controversy with that too, with people
Yeah,
talking about
the wide
all
receivers.
players.
Terrell Owens didn't make it.
Right,
Terrell
yeah,
Owens
T.O. didn't make it,
Wow.
and they're talking about all like these old players. You want to throw these old players, but how would they do with the NFL today?
Gronk,
NFL wasn't as good as it was back in, 1930s? Some of these people are getting thrown in there.
Gronk
like,
made it in though.
Gronk, well,
Gronk
can,
can-
yeah,
of course
Gronk's
Gronk
got-
deserves
Gronk
it.
can't make it.
Yeah.
Brady's, Brady
got
made it. Montana was in. I saw.
Montana was in. Yeah, he made a comment today about that. About like what's it like being in both being in this list with these greats like Joe Montana and
Yeah. I was sad Thurman didn't make it.
Oh,
Thurman Thomas was in the talk,
Thurman
but he
Thomas.
didn't make it.
I don't even think was he even listed as one of the finalists on the 24?
Thurman Thomas?
I think he was.
Yeah, he was.
I think he was listed as one
He
of
was.
the.
Because Curtis Martin wasn't even listed as one of the final 24.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the controversy was there was modern players who were nominees or finalists, but they just didn't, make the cut. And there's only 2 active players who made it. That being Tom Brady. No, well, 3 now. So Brady, Fitzgerald, and
Gronk. Oh,
Gronk's
not
not
Gronk, my bad.
Brady, Fitzgerald. There was one other guy who's active right now on the list. I think it's on defense.
Did they do kickers for the underdog?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Then it might have been Vinny. I don't know. Wait, he's not active anymore, is he?
Is he?
Vinatieri, yeah, it is.
He's on the.
Yeah, he's still.
I think Vinatieri.
Good work.
All right.
Yeah, I think there should have been some parameters surrounding it a little bit more, like X amount of years if you're still active.
Right.
Because, having a guy that's been in the league 5 years and putting up some phenomenal numbers, yeah,
Cool.
that's fine, but, you're excluding all these greats, I'm just going to put people that were already in there just because I can't think of anyone that's off. Walter Payton, Larry Zonka,
Walter Payton was great.
I said I was
I
going
know,
to put
I
people
get
that were
that.
in there.
That's what I'm saying. Walter Payton was great.
Larry Zonka, I can't think of any more because
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
Emmitt Smith.
Dan
I think they had Gale
Quince.
Sayers on the list too, and he only played about 6 years, and it was shortened by injury.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Terrell Owens didn't make the list is ridiculous.
That's beyond.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. He wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer for God knows why.
Yeah.
He wasn't on the all-time list, and I respect the older players. I understand because you cannot discount their era. It's you can't compare, then to now. But you can't have Crazy Leg Hirsch on the list and you don't have Terrell Owens. It makes no sense. If Randy Moss is on the list, Terrell Owens has to be on the list.
Right.
Mhm.
And even Fitzgerald, how is it that Fitzgerald makes it? And the lady, there was one of the voters, she was speaking with Deion Sanders, Steve Largent, and I think 2 other hosts about how they were doing the picking for it. And she said, well, Owens played in a pass-predominant, era. But so did Fitzgerald and Moss. So how do they get there over Owens? It doesn't make any sense. J.J. Watt not making the defensive line. A couple of other people not making the linebackers list. Running back Adrian Peterson not making it. The safeties Troy Polamalu and Brian Dawkins not making it.
Wow.
Charles Woodson not even being mentioned on the
Well, that's
corners.
pretty
It's very confusing.
I think in the concept, yes, it's a great idea, and I like the promotion of this is the 100th season of the NFL,
Yeah.
and that's great. But
I don't know about this.
there seems to be a general lack of planning in a lot of things that come through the NFL.
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to officiating.
Yeah, I agree.
we'll get to officials later, right?
Damn, Calvin Johnson didn't even make it.
Oh, wait.
Was he even mentioned?
Whoa.
Yeah, he was mentioned.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's good enough.
God, if Calvin Johnson didn't retire early though,
Yeah.
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 they,
Because even Antonio Brown would have probably been listed had he not had all of his buffoonery over the course of the last 2 years. Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, both of those would have to be, mentioned. Steve Smith, Senior,
yeah.
Hines Ward, Chad Johnson, if he never had his issues. But a lot of those guys, because with the wide receiver position, I think that's probably the one position where 4 modern players would have to have made it. Because Marvin Harrison even made it, which he should have. But then guys like a Reggie Wayne wasn't even mentioned. Things like that. The tight ends was very interesting as well because Ozzie Newsome did not make it. Shannon Sharp didn't make it. Antonio Gates, which that one I didn't understand.
Yeah.
He didn't make it. It was very
definitely should've
interesting
been.
with that
I think
list.
Shannon Sharp should have been.
Shannon Sharp totally should.
He changed like the way
Yeah.
tight ends.
Changed the title.
Did Travis Kelce make that too?
No.
Probably not.
He could have.
No.
They considered it too early for Kelsey, but at the same time, Gronk had about, although he didn't play 9 years, he had 6 years where he was completely dominant. Travis Kelsey, the last 5 years, in my opinion, after 2017, he was pretty much the best tight end in the league.
Right.
Yeah.
Gronk that was the last year of Gronk, but Travis Kelsey set a record with 4 consecutive seasons over 1,000 yards receiving. He broke, I think it was Greg Olson's record of that. So, at one point, Kelsey got to be up there. So I guess the 125th anniversary team, they're going to re-vote again. So we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
Bit of a ways away, but I mean,
We got a while.
I'm sure we'll all still be around, complaining at our TVs.
All right.
Hopefully the Bills have a Super Bowl by then.
No, definitely not.
Who knows?
Well, hopefully they can get one. I mean, I when I was in college, there was nothing but Buffalo Bill fans around, and one of the professors, this guy would cry at the end of every single loss. Could not deal with it. I remember Scott Norwood missing the kick, and then he used to go to, I think there was a mall in Buffalo, and Scott Norwood would always go through there, and he'd just do like the Abe Simpson every time he saw him.
I don't remember the name of them all. I think I know something.
Yeah, there's a few of them that are around. Like Daryl Talley used to go to one specific one. My dad.
We saw.
might have met
I
him.
saw. Who was it? Andre Reed.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
really?
saw him in a mall out in Buffalo a few years ago. We went up to go. It was when he was actually getting voted into the Hall of Fame. We went up to him. It was me, my dad, and my brother. We went up to him to say hello, like congratulate him with the Hall of Fame and all that. We go up to him. My dad goes, "Excuse me, Mr. Reed." He turns and goes, "You need to go that way." He immediately told us that we need to leave him alone. I mean, like I get it because he doesn't want everybody like getting drawn toward him, but like at the same time, I was maybe like 10. My brother was about 6.
Yeah, like it all depends on the person. Like there are some people that'll willingly accept it and love doing it, meeting everybody and having fun with it. There's some guys. I mean, if they've been around long enough, have been recognized long enough. I mean, I'm sure it gets old.
Yeah.
Like my sister and my mom were in Best Buy just out in Henrietta, and Mario Williams. He's just chilling there buying stuff.
He retired?
Oh yeah, he retired.
I was gonna
A crowd of people surrounded him. He welcomed it. Yeah.
Wow. What a guy.
Well, got about 15 minutes left, so I'm going to talk about wrestling real quick, just because it is something that is important to me. Senior Nationals and Olympic qualifying was this past weekend, so let me go through the semifinals results here, and these are all the guys that qualified for the Olympics on the American side at least. We got Nathan Tomasello over Nashon Garrett in the 57 in the 57 kilogram weight class, fall at 321. We had Spencer Lee over Vitaly Erju over fall at 504. 65 kg, we had Joey McKenna, which is a surprising
Ohio State.
upset over Yanni Diakomahalis,
I'm kind of not surprised about that. But
just because of the national championship the year before, Yanni defeating Joey, and Joey being a 5 seed in this tournament.
Holy shit.
And also at 65 kg, we had Jordan Oliver over Nick Lee, fall at 242. 74 kg, we had Logan Massa over Nazar
Something.
Kolchichisky, I don't even know. It was a 15-6 major decision. We had Mecky Lewis over Thomas Gant, decision 3-1. 86 kilograms, or 86 kg, I don't even know. Miles Martin over Alex Deringer, 6-4 decision. Zahid Valencia over Aaron Brooks, 6-0 decision. 97 kg, Colin Moore over Kyvan Godson, 6-3 decision. Hayden Zilmer over Ty Waltz, 4-3 decision. Finally, at 125, big boys, Dominique Bradley over Anthony Kazar, fall at 518. Anthony Nelson over Daniel Kirkvillet, 3-2 decision. I have no idea.
I don't know.
And here were your finalists that won senior nationals, and we'll now have the higher seed at the Olympic tournament this summer. We got Spencer Lee at 57 kg. 65 we have Jordan Oliver. 74 we have Logan Massa. 86 we have Zahid Valencia. 97 is Hayden Zilmer, and 125 is Dominic Bradley. So there's your wrestling for the for the week.
Right.
Yeah, thank God.
I mean, I don't know if any of you care enough, but that's whatever.
All right.
I'm sorry, I don't like sweaty men touching each other in spandex.
Jesus Christ. Controversy.
All
right.
You're insulting me. This is what I did for 10 years. Alright. You guys got anything else? Before I shameless plug our football league? So, we have a flag football league, which isn't really flag because people tackle the shit out of each other. We call it the CFO.
Church football.
It's Child football.
Child, you idiot.
Well, same thing.
Right now there are 4 teams: Jackson, Truman, Short, and Garrett.
Garrett.
Yeah,
No.
Garrett.
No, is it Garrett? I
No.
think it was
Garrett.
Ryan.
Ryan, you
Hi.
You idiot! The guy next to you. Garrett's on Short's team. I'm with Short.
And Ryan. So over the weekend we had Jackson versus Truman with a final score of 35-28.
How many? Wait. How many total football players are actually in this league?
A lot, actually.
For real?
Yeah.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4.
We got 2 sitting at this table. I'm not.
What do you mean?
I'm an
Me
official.
and you, idiot.
Because I'm at college and
So is
Ryan.
he.
Ryan's just a. I thought you guys were.
No,
actually-
he's
Ryan's a
player.
I was gonna say.
That's on my team.
Just
I'm on
'cause-
his team.
Just because I'm at college, I abstained from actually joining the league this year, and when I can, I officiate. I'm the head ref. Ryan, I said we'd get to officiating later. So.
That was the last topic.
So, anyways, just a couple highlights from our buddies. We had Ben Hughes with 2 interception catches and 3 touchdowns.
Holy shit.
Jackson Hughes with 1 rush touchdown, 1 pass touchdown, and 1 interception thrown. We had Truman Benz with 2 interceptions, both passing, and caught 2 interceptions. 1 rush touchdown and 2 pass touchdowns. These guys, I don't know their full names. So we got Ian with 2 receiving touchdowns. Ian Quinn. Dylan Fendler with 1 receiving touchdown. Greg Shepler with 1 pass touchdown. And Slim Brady with 1 touchdown. That's your CFO update for the week.
Right.
And then officiating.
Officiating referees.
Now we can talk about officiating, not just in the CFO, but in the NFL. Do you have any comments you'd like to make?
Told the refs up. They are terrible.
2 blown calls in
I
1
wanna
game
fight
alone.
refs. Anytime I walked into Foot Locker, I kind of get triggered. It's just bad referees all around.
They're probably better than the NFL refs.
I think we could sum up this year's officiating with a play from last year. They probably can't. It's whatever. It'll be muffled over the sound of all of us talking so
Yeah.
loud. Last year, the San Diego, I don't even know who they were playing. I don't remember. But their left guard, their left guard, I think the play was on 2. He went on 1, was about 10 feet into the backfield, and no one stopped the play.
Oh wait, is that?
I think it might have been against the Steelers. I think that sums up the officiating.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Stevie Wonder challenge, as you put it.
Face mask on Josh Allen.
Oh.
Face mask against Josh
Unfortunate
Allen that didn't happen.
They didn't get called.
With the intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding that should have been called.
Intentional-
John Murphy, I was listening to the radio, and when that intentional grounding happened, ref comes on and goes, 34 was in the area, therefore it wasn't intentional grounding. And John Murphy, the Buffalo Bills radio network, the host of the whole show for them, I've never heard him so angry. Just start screaming about how these refs suck, and he wasn't in the area. This is bias and all this stuff.
Wait, is it the rule if the ball is thrown behind, if it doesn't reach the line of scrimmage? It's
Behind the line of scrimmage as well is intentional grounding.
Yeah.
That just doesn't get called at all on Brady.
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of biased and I'm a Bills fan, but come on. The dude's always in the pocket because he can't move anymore.
No.
He throws the ball away, and half the time they're gonna call someone in the area, even if they're 10 yards away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something we all live with.
It's awful.
Yeah, we're not gonna bring up the Rams and Saints
Oh.
game last year.
That's where
the
it started.
thing that sparked this bullshittery this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they implemented the rule where you can challenge PIs, and they still never get turned over.
Yeah.
I think there's been like 2.
You know who
Yeah,
did?
maybe.
The Saints. They called it and they got it overturned on the Saints.
No, the Saints got it on themselves with Carolina. They
Yep.
lost because of that, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-mm.
Or no, did they lose because of it?
No, the guy kicked a field goal.
They still beat the Saints.
No, they beat them, I'm pretty sure, because of that.
He missed the kick.
Was it?
31 yards away.
Yeah, we remember.
Yeah, and he was my kicker in fantasy. I was pretty mad about that.
Oh, that.
Who's mad?
But yeah, so like, I mean, we had Detroit Lions versus Green Bay Packers. Those 2 Phantom face masks that basically set Green Bay up for the win on the
There's been
game-winning
a lot
drive.
of those this year.
Uh-huh.
There's been face masks called. They're either hanging on the chest. They're just no.
They slide up to the neck.
Yeah.
The worst thing that I've seen is there's been a lot more illegal contact calls.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
too.
There's 200 Davies in the same game.
Like, I mean, I'm okay with you calling it. Like, just make it a legit call.
I agree.
We all want to see tighter officiating, but also good officiating.
Right.
It's nice to see some of these refs that are just letting him play.
Yeah.
Letting him play it out, let him push and shove, and when it gets too far, then they'll throw the flag. And that's good officiating that I like to see. But when you're barely past 5 yards and you push him slightly, and you're gonna throw illegal contact on that every
Yeah,
time
bogus.
is too much.
Honestly, sometimes
Gotta
it's
change the rules.
just getting punished. It's hard for a corner to play well in the NFL when they're getting
It's
everything.
already
called
hard
on
for
them.
defense in
Yeah.
general.
It's starting to try and turn into where I think the NFL wants to push more towards a high-scoring offensive game.
It makes sense because it's
Shitty
more
defense.
entertaining.
Yeah.
And it draws in viewers, but at the same time, there's
bad for
sometimes you're just
It's
gonna have
bogus.
that one player
Yeah.
that's gonna take that over. So who knows?
I mean, if you have Marcus Peters at corner, it's going to be a high-scoring game.
You can't- yeah.
Straight up.
Or just Bengals defense in general.
Yes.
Well, I think we'll wrap it up here. Would you like to plug in your all your social media and your YouTube and everything?
Well, sure, yeah, I guess I can. If you did not know before, get familiar. I'm the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual theme. Chiseled Adonis. I've got all of the social platforms that you can go and follow me on. I figured I should have did that at the beginning with you, bro. But on YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, BitChute, Pornhub.
He is on Pornhub.
Wait,
He's at Pornhub.
Yeah, at Chiseled Adonis.
You are the only content provider on Pornhub that I have ever seen get removed a video off of. And it didn't happen to you once, it happened to you 5 times.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? You know, they blocked me for non-consensual. I mean,
And incapacitation.
That is, the pizza man can just come to your house and sleep with your wife, unannounced to her. Hey, watch a Chiseled Adonis video. We can't have that.
That's great.
Yeah.
There goes my AirPods.
Well, let's put in ours. Matt, would you like to start with our brand new YouTube channel?
Well, yes, we just made a YouTube channel. It should be able to be found. It's a big long link, but it's the Sports Commute, and it should be there by now since we're doing the YouTube video.
Yeah.
And we got Spotify, like I said. Apple Podcasts is on there. Sports Commute. Twitter and Instagram, the Sports Commute. Twitter, yeah.
Twitter is the _sportscom, you know?
Yep. And we got the Instagram, which is, I believe, the Sports Commute. If not, it's probably pretty easy to find.
We'll put it on Twitter.
Yeah, screw it. Whatever. All of the above.
Yeah. So, think that just about does it for today.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We're happy to have you back anytime if you like.
Yeah, for sure. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching. We're listening. I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, man.
All right, man.
We
Thank
really
you so
appreciate
much.
it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
We love having you on. You
Guys
know,
have a good night.
Yeah.
we'll keep watching your videos.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
All right, send me the links.